Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Wednesday. I am going to just continue the reading for Charlie Kirk. We won't be channeling him today. I kind of wanted to just sit with the Holy Spirit and get information directly from the divine about what's going on in certain energies. I actually was really surprised about the reading we did last night, channeling Charlie about his birthday and Medal of Freedom ceremony and the day that was dedicated to him. And it was really eye-opening just to see the anger and rage and just how upset he is and how he necessarily hasn't fully come to terms with what happened, and maybe not so much that he hasn't come to terms or just an unwillingness to accept it, or just that the day in itself and the events of the day and just all of that combined just made for the perfect storm, so to say. But yeah, I was actually not expecting that at all, and I learned a lot about the idea that souls can actually choose not to cross and can actually learn their own soul lessons in this in-between phase. And so I did some Googling and talked to ChatGPT about what could be going on there, and then just trying to understand that process. We don't really know anything for sure about the spiritual world and what goes on with people's souls when they leave here, so it's all speculative. It's all what we resonate with. But after that reading, I'm like, wow, some souls really do. Even somebody like Charlie, who was a believer, who had a strong faith, you would think those souls would just go straight into heaven's gates and into the arms of the Lord. And that's really where I think I was most taken back. So that was really interesting. But at the same time, I felt a peace about it. Like maybe Charlie is just so connected with the Lord that he can have those types of interactions of like, just let me sit here and be mad for a minute, and God just being all loving and letting him do that, So it wasn't bad. I didn't get bad vibes from it. It was more just like stubborn anger. Like, it's hard to explain, but yeah. So that was a really long reading yesterday. So thank you guys for tuning in. Today, I want to stick with my guides and the Holy Spirit and get a little bit more information about the events that took place, and I guess the biggest question still is like, why? It feels like there was a much bigger purpose than just money or somebody being upset or like, you were going to kick me out of the club type thing. Like, I don't know. It feels like there's also something bigger going on a world scale. We have this whole idea of Egypt, which has continued to come through in our readings. And, you guys were saying over the weekend, Candace Owens was tweeting or had Instagram stories up about a plane in Egypt. And I didn't get to see it. I didn't see what Candace posted on her Instagram, and I don't have Twitter or X, so I didn't see any of those posts. But I think that's crazy how we were getting the pyramids in Egypt, and there was a plane that I guess was in the area leaving at the same time. I don't know, but that is crazy. Absolutely crazy if that is the case. And what the heck was the connection there? So I don't know. I don't know if Spirit's going to give us information about Charlie and his soul's journey, if Spirit's going to open up about the bigger energies behind what actually happened, or his family, his businesses, his friends. I don't really know. So I guess we'll figure it out together, guys. Let's see where this goes. Holy Spirit, guide this reading. Show us what it is you want us to know about the energy around Charlie Kirk and what happened, past, present, or future, with him, his business, his families, his friends, political views, or world leader involvement. What is it that we could benefit from hearing from you today about the situation? Something we can learn from, something that will eventually be for the highest good of all, to gain the understanding of what happened. Knowledge is not always for the greater good. Sometimes it just confuses things and makes a mess of things, but there is information that comes out at certain times that does help us move forward as a collective here in this world. So what can we learn from Charlie Kirk's situation and what happened and why? What is it you can tell us? Ophelia's ghost is here at the bottom of the deck. And then we have Work Your Magic. Again, we're seeing another open book in the imagery. Card 7. Summon help from both the seen and unseen realms. Proactively set your intentions and work your magic. Ask for and receive what you need. The Dragon Fey Witch in this image knows the outcome she desires, even if she doesn't quite know how to single-handedly bring it into form. So she is wise, invoking her skeleton allies to help while her beloved magic cat keeps her company. The airplane. That one was really loud. I haven't heard a plane fly over in a couple days, so at least not while sitting here, that I consciously remember. She is wisely invoking her skeleton allies for help while her beloved magical cat keeps her company and provides emotional support. Follow her example by clarifying what you'd like to experience. If you're inquiring about a situation, what outcome would bring you the most satisfaction? If this is more of a general reading, what feeling or condition will bring you the most joy? State your objective, acknowledge your goal, and calmly clarify your desire. Write your intention in the present tense in a journal or notebook as if it's already true. Keep it simple and include specifics and expansive emotions in your wording. For example, instead of writing, I want a job I love, I want to make plenty of money, you could write, I love my job and it feels so empowering to make more than X amount per month. Take your time, revise, rework, and fine-tune this intention until it feels right. Now light a candle or otherwise set an ambient mood, relax and take some deep breaths, speak your intentions out loud. Earnestly and from your heart, ask your ancestors, angels, and guides to help you. Work your magic, get clear on what you want, enlist your allies, relax, and trust what you desire is on its way to you. That came out exactly in last night's reading where we had that energy of like him writing something out. Like writing in a journal or just putting ideas on paper. Enlist your allies, write out what you want. Like kind of, there's something written. Again, this talks about the writing something out. Writing something out that you want. Playing with the idea of manifesting it. So like the pre-planning before execution was written out and possibly there were allies that he was going to need to make this a reality. Ask for and receive what you need. Writing your intentions in present tense in a journal and then involving allies. Okay. Looks like maybe Spirit wants to talk about this book or this journal or this document. I don't know. We'll get a couple more oracle cards and see. Forgiveness. I'm gonna get one more. That says reducing a burden. Spirit, can I get one more? There's two cards here, but I feel like we're at least taking this one. Black Cat says fortune meets opportunity. Here we have the Black Cat companion here reading the book, and now we have this Black Cat with the eyes behind it. I don't know. About that, but now this, oof. Freaking apple is back. Black cat. Fortune meets opportunity with risk and reward. Look at the blood coming off the apple, and look at the white flower in the hand over here. We have a white flower in the hand with forgiveness. It's still here. Oh my gosh. So the person who bit the apple, the person who gave into temptation, took the apple from the devil. There's forgiveness being offered here, but also an acknowledgement that somebody took a bite of the apple at the advice from the devil, because fortune meets opportunity. Oh, okay. And maybe this is also Spirit's way of reminding me. Last night, after I picked up my son, after I ended that reading, I went to go pick him up, and he's like so excited to show me what he got, because we're big 0 sugar Monster drinkers. I know, don't come for me. I don't want to hear how bad it is for me. I know, but it's one of those guilty pleasures, and I totally get it. I know. Actually, all the comments help. You guys can tell me how bad it is for me. I don't care. I picked him up last night, and he's like, look what I found. He's like, I almost didn't want to show you, because we only drink the sugar-free. I don't let him get anything else that has all the crazy amounts of sugar. We don't drink juice or soda or anything like that. This is like the one bad drink we have, outside of like water, orange juice occasionally. So yeah, I mean, 0 sugar always. But he's like, I didn't want to show you because I know you wouldn't let me buy it. He's like, and then I told him, I'm like, I'm glad you showed me. Like, you don't have to hide an energy drink from me, and a new flavor on occasion is totally cool. Like, I love it. But look at this can that he showed me. I'm going to show you guys, because it reminded me of this, and it was right after I finished that reading, and I thought, okay, that's definitely a message, and it clearly is, because now it's here. So look at this can. I took a picture. I'm like, give me that can. I need to take a picture. I was like, that's so cool. So this was, last night at 10:46 p.m. It's Monster Juice. It's called Bad Apple, and look at the girl holding it. You can see the white flowers in her hair. She's holding the flower. And then I was reading on the can. I was like, oh, what is that? Is that like a collab, or, is that a movie coming out? I'm like, that's really cool. Looks fun. Like, what's the story behind it? And he's saying that was supposed to be Eve from the Garden of Eden. And the little story on the can talks about like temptation, Adam and Eve. And I was like, oh, wow. And then look, we have the apple here again. And then fortune meets opportunity. Oh, wow. Wow. I mean, the more we dig into this, it just does not look good for Erica. Yeah, especially because she comes out with Lady Luck. Lady Luck. There's a lot of weird things with her energy, and I've actually bit my tongue on a lot of things I could say there, because my opinions don't matter. I try to keep this very much in line with what is shown to me, either in synchronicity signs or the cards itself, or what I journal or channel. But I have just so much to say on my human aspect and things I observe and my feelings about certain things. So just know, guys, I'm practicing restraint here, as there is a lot I don't say about Erica and different things, and I don't feel it's necessary for me to really spew my opinion on you guys, because I want you guys to always use your own intuition, follow your own gut, use your own discernment. I'm just here to interpret the energy shown to me and what I feel is an actual message from Spirit about what's happening, and less about my earthly views on other people and how I judge them based on my own experiences. And it's just, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm looking for a card here, and I'm just like fumbling through the book. Forgiveness says a wrong is done, consequences you cannot deny, but to hold a grudge is to drink poison and think that the other person will die. It is said that it takes a big person to apologize, but in many ways it takes an even bigger person to forgive. When we hold grudges, the negative energy is incredibly toxic. It is like drinking poison and expecting the other unforgiven person to die. Whilst we may even harbor feelings of revenge, it's important that we move those feelings along to forgiveness and release as soon as possible for our own health and well-being. If you have chosen this card, think about who it is that you should be forgiving, and that includes yourself. Forgiveness. Let's look at Black Cat. In the times of the Inquisition, the Middle Ages, cats were hunted because they were said to be allies of evil entities such as the devil and witches. Oh, poor babies. Black, being associated with the darker aspects of the supernatural, were especially singled out. Historians believe this unprecedented killing of the cats in the name of eradicating evil led to an unchecked increase in the rat population. Shut the frick up, dude. Oh my gosh. Historians believe this unprecedented killing of the cats in the name of eradicating evil led to an unchecked increase in the rat population, which was responsible for the alarmingly rapid spread of the bubonic plague and the death of millions of people. These days, in Germany, for example, a black cat passing one's path indicates impending misfortune. Yet, in ancient Britain, would consider this good luck and were even given to brides on their wedding day. In Japan, to this day, they are considered very good luck and bringers of fortune. Should the slinky black cat cross your path through this oracle, know that good luck and fortune will be meeting you promptly. Also know that your luck will be even luckier if you are prepared to take advantage of every special opportunity that comes your way. Wasn't it yesterday in the reading, which card was it where you could see the black cat and the rat at the bottom? And I was saying, like, black cats were said to be like bad luck back in the day, and then the rat was right next to it. It's going back to this, like, killing all the cats led to an increase in the rat population, which spread a worse disease than whatever evil they thought they were eradicating, which led to the death of millions of people, which is just wild. Like, that's such huge energy right there. Like, we could literally spend the whole rest of this reading just dissecting that and applying it to what happened. Like, wow, that's big, guys. That's huge. That is huge. What card was that? And what deck was that? What did we use yesterday? God, I wish my short-term memory wasn't complete freaking garbage. I literally can't even remember the decks that we used yesterday. I'm sure at some point we used the Soul Cats Tarot. Maybe not yesterday. What did we do? Hang on. What deck was that? Was it the Halloween Wait? I know we used that deck. What other deck did we use? Why is this feeling important? I don't even know if this is. Oh, Edgar Allan Poe? Okay. Oh my gosh, look at this. I just picked up. Look at where it's at, right on the bottom. Holy cow, guys. Like, I just picked up this deck from my tray over here of all of my Halloween decks that I have over to the left. I pick up the deck and this card is like waiting for me to find it right at the bottom, so I didn't even have to search through the deck or even look through Edgar Allan Poe because I wasn't sure which card it was. Oh, and look what's still right underneath that. The death card with the work and the black cat and the rat. Oh, wow. Okay, thank you, Spirit, for that confirmation. Risk and reward. We've read this quite a few times on the channel. This seems to be a pretty popular card from this deck here. Oh, it's Apple. I'm looking for risk. I'm like, the card isn't in here. It's because it's Apple, not risk. Okay. Apple. Look, this is even the main. Right before Apple. The same imagery there. sweetest icon, risky red desire, poison and freedom, tempting hearts of fire. Poison and freedom? No, no, no. Apples have been an iconic part of mythos from ancient times to modern. The story of the poison apple in Snow White, to the Roman goddess's magical apple tree, to the Christians' tempting fruit in the Garden of Eden. Should you receive this apple in your reading, it's time to look at how risk plays out in your life. Are you hedging your bets and not trying anything new? Do you want change but are not willing to change anything? Are you willing to risk to get a greater reward? Or alternatively, are you risking too much too often? The temptation, the Garden of Eden, and this right here I think says it all. Poison and freedom, tempting hearts of fire. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is here. I mean, ugh. All right, Spirit, what do you want us to know about this? What's the else? Death. First card out. Death. This talks about the bubonic plague. This again talks about a zombie bite, I think, but it's kind of written in like nearly all cases result from bites. They can transmit the disease before they show symptoms of it. If the symptoms have begun to appear, all treatment is useless to save the life, but the patient should be in a hospital where he can be restrained during the stage of spasms and mania, and where his suffering can be lessened by means of narcotics. The disease is 100% fatal. See the words here? Interesting. Oh my gosh, all of a sudden I feel super nauseous. Something here doesn't feel right. It feels... I'm getting like goosebumps. So as you guys know, on the channel, there's a prophetic playlist. And aside from just the volcano prophecies and something big happening there with a volcano or something related to that, there's also been prophecies around women coming into power and certain alliances forming, I feel, amongst women. And then recently there's also been talks of like a plague, an illness, borders being shut down, people not being able to leave. Something about medicine would be similar to, like, I think in one of the readings it was coming through as like syphilis or something like that. Like an outbreak would be something like a plague You know, something we haven't really seen. Not like COVID, not like COVID at all, like something much worse. Something that would kind of feel more like the Black Death. I think syphilis affects the brain. We have a brain here. I don't know. It just is reminding me about the zombie reading I did in the prophetic playlist. That's coming back here, showing up now in Charlie's energy. Illness here, sickness, needing to heal. There's a bird flying outside my window again right now. I caught a glimpse of it out of the corner of my eye. I don't see it now. Oh, okay. This is feeling like an illness. How does that relate to Charlie? Well, we get us scared about the bigger picture, like why? How does this have further consequences? What is the true story behind why this happened? What are you trying to show us? Lovers. I mean, I know these are Halloween decks and black cats are very common imagery, but like a sexually transmitted disease. It's funny, I said syphilis, and that is known as an STD that I believe affects the brain. And then clarifying the lovers. Ooh, yeah, 5 of Pentacles. Ooh. Spirit, why are you showing us a similar message to the old prophecy you gave me as it relates to Charlie? Can you? 7 of Pentacles and the Devil. Because the Devil is planning something for humanity. The Devil already has seeds planted for something bigger. The Devil's planting seeds. Devil's up to no good. What's the devil up to? Aside from spreading diseases sexually, which would totally be something that would be in line with the devil and his tactics, is using something like lust to cause mass casualty and upheaval. Two cards. I was going to take 2, so we'll take them. We have 4 wands, yeah, affecting the home. King of Wands is dressed up as the devil, sitting on his throne with the fire around him. So again, like there's not another devil card in this deck, but if there was, it would be here. So doubling down on the devil energy with the Ace of Swords, a truth. Learning about the seeds the devil's planting. Four of Wands. The Two of Cups, yeah, affecting the home. This is again giving me like intimate relations with 2 people in a home would be like sexually transmitted diseases, which, what the hell, what is this? We have the Emperor. Okay, yeah, look at this as I keep going on the bottom of the deck. 10 of Swords, death, the Emperor fighting between couples in the home. Did this have something to do with Charlie? That's interesting. Let's get a few more cards out here. I know this is weird, guys. This doesn't really make much sense to me either, but something about illnesses, plagues, diseases. The devil. risky behavior, temptation from the devil. What else can you tell us about the energy? Whoa, okay. The world at the bottom, to clarify what I was just thinking about this. This is like a handshake deal, a contract is what I'm seeing, to get resources, again, to a country where an outbreak could happen or where something is going on with diseases, illnesses, medical type of energy here. And it's like two people, like two different hands from two sides of the table, shaking hands, agreeing on something. But it's like, I have an apple, you have an orange. I'm going to give you my apple, you give me your orange. They each have a boat with water on their wrist, talking about like different countries, crossing waters, borders, making a deal, signing a contract for an exchange of resources. You guys have to go check out my prophetic playlist if you guys are new here. I think this is directly tying back to that. And it's weird how in some of my true crime cases, the prophecies will tend to come up for whatever reason in certain energies. The world, yeah, something globally. Interesting that it's here for Charlie in a bigger picture. Tell me the energy between these two, between the agreement and the swapping of resources. Can you give me a few cards about the energies between? Way too many. I was going to take it, but there's too many. Okay, can I get 3 cards between this energy of an agreement and then swapping resources? Ace of Pentacles. The devil. Fuck. There's the devil with that tempting offer. Quite literally, the apple. The Page of Swords. This is a podcaster reading from a piece of paper. It's giving me like accepting money to push a narrative about this situation. Shaking hands. Doing a deal with the devil. He offered the apple. There's an exchange of money here, and then there's a podcast. An influencer. Somebody reading a script. I have 3 references to the devil here. So I'm going to get 3 clarifiers from the Mildred Payne. And then I think I'm just going to get a final oracle card, guys, and leave this here because I'm going to have to dig into what this could possibly mean. Maybe I'll ask where. I don't know. Let me see if I have. I don't know why I'm feeling called to this deck to ask where. I don't know how this is going to go, guys. Bear with me. I don't know. Spirit, do you want to clarify where this is happening in the world? Or, I mean, it's looking like 2 countries. Oh. Fake news. Fake news. Thief. The devil's offering something in exchange for something to push a false narrative. It's fake news, and it's actually the news that they're wanting to push is fake, but it's also going to be like taken back. They're not actually going to get what they thought they were getting to push this narrative. They're actually, whoever's involved in this, it's like, it's not, the devil is a liar, a cheater, and a thief. The devil is a thief. It's like the devil making a false promise and stealing back whatever you thought you were gaining to push a false narrative by taking the apple. Just like Adam and Eve in the garden. It was a lie. It was a test. They didn't gain what they thought they would. They lost everything. It was a devil disguised as a snake, a false person who lied. Offered the apple and they took it. Who? Who is the devil offering this to? The Lovers is here again, guys. That's freaking insane. Freaking insane. Who is the devil offering this to? The Lovers. Something about a partnership, two people. Or he offered it to somebody in the relationship, Charlie or Erica, or both. The devil, disease, losses, a handshake, a false promise. The Lovers. Occupation and poverty. Did the devil weed his way into this podcaster's life? Let's call it Charlie. Somehow got a hold of his partner, offered her the apple, just like what happened to Adam and his partner, Adam and Eve. The devil, the thief, he went to Eve. Eve took the bite of the apple. The occupation, the business that Charlie built up is going to crumble because the devil's going to come take it all back. He lied. This was not a risk and reward. This was a false promise, and everything is going to crumble. I think there's like two messages here. There's obviously something going on globally as it relates to couples, diseases, possibly STDs, some mass outbreak. It could even be a false narrative being pushed, but at the same time, this could also tie back into Charlie here at the end with saying that yes, his spouse was compromised. She was visited by the devil. She took the bite of the apple. And it's going to be the collapse of this empire, of this influencer, this speaker, this, you guys know, this would be Charlie sitting in front of his mic talking about his beliefs, this movement he created. He was the voice of the entire movement, the podcasts, the events, the outreaches, all of that. He was the face of that and the voice of that. But there's some weird business deals going on here, weird handshakes with the devil. And it's a lie, and it's going to cause poverty and a mass, I almost just said again, a TP tower. Let's get a couple. Pentacle just flipped out in my hand. I have the devil referenced here 3 times. So I'm going to get 3 cards clarifying each devil. Ooh, Spirit, clarify the first devil. The Crow. Isn't there a movie called The Crow? The shapeshifter. Is the crow a reference to the devil? The movie The Crow? Why do I feel like that seems to be important? Yeah, the movie The Crow, 1994, is a dark gothic action fantasy film and is known both for its haunting story and the tragic on-set accident that claimed Lee's life. Wait, what? Somebody died on the set of The Crow? Starring Brandon Lee, son of martial arts legend Bruce Lee, and it's known both for its haunting story and the tragic... What? Why didn't I know this? Wait, is this part of the plot? Okay, is this the... Okay, maybe that happened. Maybe it's the plot. I don't know. Let's see. The story follows Eric Draven, a musician who was brutally murdered along with his fiancée by a gang of violent criminals in Detroit. A year later, on the anniversary of their deaths, Eric, interesting name, Eric is mystically resurrected by a supernatural black crow, a spirit guide that connects the world of the living and the dead. Empowered by this crow, Eric becomes an avenging ghost. He heals instantly from injuries, he moves through shadows, he seeks vengeance against each of the men who killed him and his fiancée. Holy shit. Eric's motivation is pure, to avenge Shelley and reunite with her in the afterlife. Despite the violence, there's a poetic tone. It's about balancing wrongs and finding peace for the dead. Brandon Lee's performance is highly praised. Tragically, he died during filming due to a prop gun accident, giving the movie an eerie real-life parallel to the whole resurrection theme. So he did die on the set of this movie? A prop gun accident, just like the recent one that just happened with Hailey Bieber's uncle. What's his name? That's fucking weird. So coming back to avenge his death? It's feeling like Charlie energy of him wanting to come back with unfinished business. That's crazy. Okay, so the crow for the first devil. Show me the second devil that's in disguise. This one's not the real devil. He's dressed in a devil's costume, so that could be this false person pretending to be the devil that can make offers. I don't know. Show me the false devil, the king in devil's costume. The axe. Axe for this devil. Interesting, I'm looking over here. The symbolism of the crow. It says that in mythology, crows are messengers between life and death. The crow is both Eric's guide and his weakness. If the crow is harmed, Eric loses his powers. Is that Erica? Like, the lie was, if we kill Charlie, you get this reward. But the truth is, if you kill Charlie, you lose all the power. You go into poverty. It was a false promise to trade out Charlie for riches or whatever the devil offered. But the fact of the matter is, if the crow was injured, you lose all your powers. So it actually did the opposite by killing the person you thought would bring you earthly prosperity. Actually had the opposite effect. That's the devil for you guys. Don't do deals with the devil. Show me third devil. Interestingly enough, the devil is card 15 in these decks, and 15 is the lovers right here. You're in bed with the devil. You think it's a lover. It's a false person. You're in bed with the devil. The devil is acting as a lover. Oh. Oh no. Bell. Wedding bells. Let's look at these really quick, and then I really gotta go, guys. I have another meeting, and luckily it's just with an industry friend, so hopefully I don't have to, you know, go all out. I can go throw on jeans and a hoodie and call it a day. But yeah, I still have to wrap this up really soon because I should be leaving the house in 30 minutes, and I am still in a big t-shirt and sweatpants. So let's see. The bell is a warning. The beginning or end of some important event or a warning. Beginning or end, something important or a warning. Ringing the bell. Alarm bells. About a false person in a marriage, a relationship, a false offer, a deal with the devil, the devil, and here we have the podcaster, and an offer, and an apple, and a devil, and a lover. And that says everything about Charlie, Erica, the devil, and what transpired. It's so obvious. So obvious. And it's like they thought by killing the crow, they would have more power, but really it's like the opposite has taken place. They're going to lose everything. And it's like back in the day, they thought killing the cats would eradicate the evil or give them something better, metaphorically. And it had the opposite effect. The rats spread the bubonic plague everywhere and killed millions. It's that same thing. It's having the opposite effect. Whatever they thought they were going to gain from Charlie's death, that's not happening. It's not how the devil operates, y'all. Conflicts, disputes, and estrangement. Conflicts, disputes, and estrangement right here with this false person and the lovers. Conflicts, disputes, is cutting something off. There was fighting in the home. They were not in a happy marriage in the recent days. Maybe at first, maybe. But I think there were warning signs, and I feel like there was weird things happening in his marriage. Most definitely. Let's look at Crow. Omen of bad news. Criminal activity. Criminal activity. A bad omen. Bad news coming out. This person is reading from a script. Bad news, criminal activity. The thief, the lovers, a warning, conflicts around a deal, a handshake, money, around the podcast. I know there's different arms. I think the Charlie Kirk show maybe is what we're talking about here. Because there's like TP USA, TP Action, something like College Kids for Trump, TP Faith, and then the Charlie Kirk show. This sitting in front of the computer talking to the mic is giving me going in that direction. Bad omen. Bad news. Moving from place to place. Criminal activity. Criminal activity. Gosh, we got a lot of information here, guys. Criminal activity, thief, somebody lying, cheating, doing deals with the devil, betraying people, conflicts, a warning. All of it's here. All of it. That's insane. Poverty with occupation, and community. Community, the work community, and poverty, money. Bing, bang, boom. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for the messages today. I guess I need to do an updated prophetic video about whatever played, because I feel like there were definite energies around that, and I don't know how that relates to Charlie unless Spirit's just trying to get my attention to revisit that energy, and then at the end gave me what we needed to see about Charlie, but also like, hey, while I have your attention, this is something we need to revisit. So we'll see how that plays out. Holy Spirit, give me a final message to end this reading today. Final message for today. Too many. Final message. Interesting here, look at this. On the poverty card, the black cat with the rat as well. The cats and the rats, the cats and the rats. The cats and the rats were here in this deck. I mean, it continues to show up together with a black cat and a rat in many different decks now. This isn't even a Halloween deck, guys. This is not a Halloween deck. The other two are Halloween decks. So we were getting energy around the rats really early on. That's so interesting. Poverty with the black cats and the rats, spreading the diseases. Alchemize pain. This looks so familiar. I feel like we pulled this recently. The bottom, protect your boundaries. Look, this person, this little creature, I don't know, possum, I don't know what it is, but he's holding the axe, protecting his boundaries. Alchemize pain. All right, let's read it. Where did my... 2, 3, 4. Card 24. Pain happens. It sinks us beneath the surface of life into the watery abyss of agony. We have no control over when it arrives or how long it stays, but we can influence how much suffering it leaves in its wake. When we hold on to the injustice of pain, it can turn into suffering. Release the pain through the healing power of creativity. Sing your sorrow, dance your turmoil, alchemize your hurt into art. When we offer the pain a sense of release, we bless it with beauty. This is a sacred alchemy that comes only after grief. You must grieve your pain first, giving your heart the space it needs to bleed out all of the messages that would diminish or limit you. Ignore the voices that suggest you should be over it by now, or tell you all grief looks the same, or say that you deserve this pain. Only by embracing pain and expressing it can you rise again to the surface. All right, my loves, thank you guys for joining me today. As always, I would kindly ask you to subscribe if you haven't, like the video, drop a comment, share, hype, all those things. I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon. Bye.